Friends, welcome to today's daily devotion. I'm reading to you today from Genesis, the 30th chapter, reading verses 22 through 24. Hear now these words. Then God remembered Rachel. He listened to her and enabled her to conceive. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son and said, God has taken away my disgrace. She named him Joseph and said, May the Lord add to me another son. Do you pay attention to family trees, genealogy, and figuring out who is descended from whom? Well, the book of Genesis gives us some of this in describing the story of the origins of the nation of Israel. All this past week, we've been talking about Abraham. Well, Abraham had two sons, Jacob and Esau. Esau was actually the older son, but Jacob is the one who God gave special attention to and said, this is the man through which the promises will continue. And so then Jacob had many sons, and he had those sons through two wives, Rachel, who we read about here, and her sister Leah. But Leah had children first, and Rachel didn't have any. And for Rachel, this was devastating to not be able to give her husband a child, and in particular to give him a son. And so now here we see God blessing Rachel and giving her a son, and this son is Joseph. And now we're going to start looking at Joseph's story, the great-grandson of Abraham, and how God used Joseph to continue God's work. Now, Joseph doesn't have an easy life, and next week we're going to be talking about that, but even his birth was not easy, for his mom struggled to get him. I think that the things that we struggle to get, when we finally get them, that's what has the most meaning and value to us. So if you're struggling right now, if you feel that maybe God isn't remembering you, do what Rachel did and keep trusting, keep praying, and allow God to bring you through. You too can have your Joseph. And I'll see you on Monday for another daily devotion.